And there it's 8:30, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Surrounded by Details podcast. We go straight into it. Today from the DreamCatcher Bangkok Hostel, Café and Bar and so much more. As always, not as always, but you might be used to him right now. By now, hashtag no native English speaker, Derrick Yazwa, the owner, CEO and magician behind DreamCatcher Hostel, Bar and Café. Now I switched it up a little bit there for you because I'm a little bit nervous, to be honest. I've never done that, podcasting from a bar, but Derrick said, yeah, let's do it. And why are we at the DreamCatcher, by the way? Because we are also supported by the DreamCatcher. I almost forgot to mention that. Thank you, Derrick, for my liquid. I don't know if we're allowed to say anything alcohol related. I mean, there will be many things said today.
We only serve milk here.
Only milk and water. Nam, as we say in Thailand. Yeah, we are supported by DreamCatcher and we are very happy to drop in once in a while, have some amazing food and have a good drink and have a good conversation. And I basically wanted to do a different introduction because I've been thinking about it all day. But now I messed it up completely. As I said, I'm a little bit nervous. How about you?
I'm waiting for the new introduction, but other than that, it's great.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in Bangkok and if you need, unlike me, a place to stay where you need to sleep, where you can rest a little bit, then come to the DreamCatcher Bar. DreamCatcher. I messed it up. I'm too nervous. Sorry.
DreamCatcher Hostel, Café and Bar.
Bam.
All the above.
All the above. We already talked to you about how you came up with the whole DreamCatcher idea, but if you want to recap a little bit, if you want to talk to the people who are not used to this podcast or who are tuning in new, then please introduce yourself and what is your purpose?
Yeah, I am Derrick, and Derrick Yazwa. I'm from Arizona, living out in Bangkok, and running a hostel, DreamCatcher Bangkok. And I mean, this is my 5th year out here in Thailand, and we just opened a month ago, so celebrating at the bar.
How long have you been open for?
A little over a month.
So it's still kind of the feeling of a virgin, you know? You have to, it's like a ship, you need to learn to sail it, and once you find the rhythm, once you find your balance, it will be a nice ride. You know what I mean? A hostel needs a certain kind of vibe and you need to find it.
Yeah, it's picking up that vibe pretty quickly, actually. It's been good.
Yeah, you have been fully booked out yesterday, I know. Today you are a little bit more relaxed. You are a little bit more free. That's why we have the chance to podcast here today. So I really appreciate it to let us come to the bar, have a couple of drinks, see how it's going with the people around. We have some weird people around the bar, by the way.
Right.
Can you introduce us a little bit to your crew here?
Introduced to the crew, we got Oi over here.
Oi is on the bartender side because for the people who can't see.
We got no cameras.
Exactly, no cameras. For the people who can't see.
It should be everybody.
Yeah, it's just check it out, Bangkok DreamCatcher.
Right.
So you see roughly where we are. So we go from bartender number 1 to bartender number 2, who's eating and looking in a question mark view right over here, wondering what's going on.
I think everyone's wondering what's going on.
Okay, but can you introduce us to the lady, please?
This is First.
Yeah. And how long have they been working here?
Since we opened.
So basically they have been doing well and they are still here.
They're still here.
Are you rough with your staff? Is he rough with his staff or is he a tough boss? They are just laughing. What do you consider yourself? Are you a rough boss or?
No, I don't think so. Not usually.
No?
Yeah.
Well, I look over to the crew and they kind of try to look away not to get engaged in the conversation.
Right.
But driving a hostel is obviously more than leadership. It's also, organization. Have you always been that talented?
Organization-wise, no. It's a skill that definitely took some time to learn. Because it's important to be organized when you run any kind of business. Otherwise, things start deteriorating really fast.
That's true. You always have to be careful what you create. You can create a monster. I am still listening to Kevin Hart's biography.
Right.
And he said it's easy to fall into an image, but it's hard to come out. There's so many different kind of hostels where you have Koh San Road, for example, one of the biggest backpacker roads in the world, where you have some weird hostels. What made you choose that style that you have? Because if I have to describe the inside of this place, we have neon light, we have a big neon light logo outside the door with some writing on the windows and a brick wall. So it's a little bit more modern, it's a little bit more urban.
Right. Yeah, we wanted to make it. So we got this old Thai style shop house, and we just wanted to restore it completely, but then give it kind of like a modern touch in the cafe and just a little bit different downstairs. So, but yeah, I think a lot of the hostels that I've stayed at are all kind of similar. They're just kind of like newer style buildings most of the time, and just kind of like IKEA furniture and like very they all kind of look the same. So we wanted to restore an old house and make it, a mix of the typical old school Thai house with like a more modern touch to it.
Yeah, I was laughing there when you mentioned the IKEA, because I've been planning to do a IKEA chess episode, because the place where I learned chess is also a place that is related with IKEA, and I did some research on all those funny facts about IKEA. So, man, IKEA makes me laugh every time. Why do you think, what is it with IKEA that makes people go there and still talk so much shit about it?
I think it's just become cool to talk shit about it because it's so popular now. But I mean, I don't think you can really beat the quality and the price. So, I mean,
that's true.
I've bought plenty of stuff from IKEA. It looks nice. It lasts. The only problem is trying to put it together. That's always the nightmare of IKEA.
You have a clear description and you follow the description. Everything should be clear.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like their instructions are super confusing, but other than that.
Yeah. It's a nice start of a podcast. Fastly rumbling about your place, then switching to IKEA, and I start to come down a little bit more. And always when we podcast, we are kind of drinking some liquids.
Right.
What are we drinking right now?
You were drinking the Anderson Valley Summer Solstice. Yeah. Cream ale.
Cream ale.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. And I'm drinking the Escape to Colorado. It's a session IPA from Epic.
Where did you get your beer knowledge from? Because you're obviously very into craft beer. You even mentioned that on your introduction on your social media. We have a common friend, Brian Bartosz, who's going to be back on the podcast soon as well, by the way, in 2 weeks.
Right.
And he's a beer fanatic. And yeah, man, he can talk all day about beer. Is that something that you do too, or you just enjoy drinking it?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely talk all day about it. I do from time to time. But yeah, I like to just seek out new types of styles to try out, and just get really into trying out all the different kinds from different breweries.
Now in Thailand, on social media, the whole marketing has been changed a little bit with the alcohol law. I don't know if it's a law, but they want to be a little bit more discreet. So you cannot really post any pictures from a bar. How much more complicated is it for you if you don't have social media attached? And you see where I'm going here into the digital world, because we just had a conversation on top of the rooftop, as other people say, and that was quite interesting. Social media, taking pictures, and business on social media, how much more complicated is it?
Yeah, I think I'm still trying to figure out what to do about it, and it seems like a lot of people are kind of just already ignoring that whole law and policy, but I mean, it's pretty crazy, because you definitely need to... I mean, social media is where everyone goes to see pretty much everything nowadays. So if they don't see you posting on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, like, your business might as well not even exist at this point.
That's true. You can have the best product, and if nobody knows about it or where to find it, it's a completely fuck up.
Yeah.
That's what I've been realizing the last couple of years, because I always been against social media, especially Instagram, because I'm a photographer.
Right.
And it kind of, I don't know.
There's, they got all those filters.
Yeah, and all this kind of bullshit. However, I turned a little bit more, because you kind of need it. If nobody knows about you, you kind of forced to put yourself out there. You don't really have a chance. And when you put yourself out there, there's obviously you as a person, and your opinion, your character, all that plays into who you are on the World Wide Web. And we were talking about fake news, and is it really possible to stop all that nonsense that's going on? Because people interact more opinion obviously gets more followers for each opinion. It's getting more complicated. I said upstairs, how do I put that without sounding like a dick? I believe there should be somebody or some sort of leadership, because everybody is different, and as I say so many times on the podcast, there are stupid people out there, including myself. I can be stupid at any occasion.
Well, we're all stupid people sometimes.
Yeah, so social media is quite a hard switch that I'm making right now, but I think you can follow where I'm going, right?
Say that again?
Do you think I can follow where I'm going here?
Yeah, I can follow you.
Good. This liquid
It's
is
hard to
influencing
hear.
myself. Yeah. Oh, I can speak a little bit louder.
Okay.
And I actually have one pair of headphones on just to hear that the sound is
Okay.
correct.
Cool.
Over the live stream. If you are on the live stream, by the way, make sure to leave us a comment in the chat section on the right side of the live stream. Once you're there, you can also go to DreamCatcher Bangkok and see what is going on in Bangkok and in this wonderful bar. That is where we're recording from. I just wanted to make that clear one more time.
Yeah.
Before I go back to social media, loads of opinions, loads of people. Do we need some sort of law that says you are not allowed to post this and that? Because YouTube has been...
we definitely don't need that.
Why not? Because some stuff is just so stupid that you need to say, fuck that. You should
No,
not
I mean, I think like people need to be able to get better at researching things and not just like reading a headline and just taking it for fact at first glance. You know, because I feel like a lot of the stuff that gets posted out there, it's crazy, and I see people repost it like crazy stories about Justin Bieber or whatever, just bullshit. And you look it up, and like within a second, you see that it's fake. You know, so what we really need is we need people to adjust to the modern times and realize that like we have this ability to communicate with everyone around the world, and some people are just going to do that to like, you know, joke around or like fuck around with people, like have fun, just make stuff up, see how far it'll go. Yeah. So we need to get better at recognizing the bullshit and doing research, you know, not just reposting stuff and reading a headline and not even looking at it and just like parroting it as fact. Yeah. You know,
as angry as it makes me with fake news, it quite amuses me or gives me a good time when you just follow a South Park live stream on YouTube and you just open this chat section that is basically open to everybody who is registered, and there's so much bullshit going on so much porn. There's so much porn. That's insane. You can't quite disguise that. And I see some confused people outside your door.
Yeah, they're checking in.
They're checking in. So how is this? Guide us through your check-in. Can you comment this while this is going on?
Yes, okay. Definitely.
So we called person A and we called person B just arrived. Welcome to the DreamCatcher Bangkok Café and Bar. I said it right this time, right?
Something like that, yeah.
You see how many times I plug your hostel here in this episode already? It's insane. But what kind of feeling, before I go back to social media here, what kind of feeling, if you could put that in words, do you want to give your guests as soon as they walk in?
I just want them to feel immediately welcome and like just like it's a warm environment. So we made the cafe area just pretty welcoming, and that's why we did like the lighting like this, just make it very inviting, and looks like it's a cool place to hang out. So just trying to feel welcome right away.
I always wondered what those big white hotel lobbies are for, because it makes you kind of not welcome. It feels like the kitchen
like
sometimes.
You're in a UFO or something?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of white or bright rooms, completely white.
Right, yeah. It's not very natural at all. You need that warm side to it, like earth colors.
That's true, but I have to admit, I changed my mind a little bit about a white colored car, because I never understood, if you have the choice of every possible color that you can choose for a car, and then you choose something boring as white, why do that if you have so many other possibilities? Stupid question. But here in Bangkok or in Southeast Asia or every place where it's hot, they actually prefer white colored cars, because of the sun reflection. That is so simple. And I was talking about stupid people before. This is one of those moments where you just realize, man, I should have known
Where you
that.
just felt really stupid?
Huh?
One of those moments where you just felt really stupid?
Yeah, exactly, man. That is, I mentioned it before, I was busy yesterday and I had to go into this tower of offices, and they give you a little visitor card.
Right.
That you have to put against the button when you go through those gates that open automatically. And I just couldn't figure it out, and I created this line behind me and just became more and more. And then just some old lady just tapped me on the back and said, here. And I felt so stupid, man. But yeah, it is what it is sometimes. Do you have that sometimes with your hostel when you have guests coming in? I mean, it's still fresh, but you feel like, oh shit, why did I say that?
Yeah. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of times where you're just kind of like rushing around, like trying to do a lot of stuff at one time, and you just like don't even think clearly. You know what I mean? Like, especially in the heat around here, and you're run around all day. It can be pretty crazy.
Sometimes you just have to go with it, though.
Yeah.
If you say something stupid, you should just
Yeah.
go with it and just see if they even recognize, or you just see on their face like, whoa, what's going on?
Like, I totally meant to do that. It's all part of the game.
That's what I do. It's doing weird stuff. And once again, I can only recommend Kevin Hart. His autobiography is so funny, and he mentioned a game when he worked in the sneaker store.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spoil anything, so you have to read or listen to it yourself. Actually, listen to it, because
Audible,
and he performs it as well, so it's very, very funny. But talking about not knowing what you say sometimes, some weird shit, brings me back to social media transition, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it's done. The communication and finding out what's bullshit and what's not bullshit is also more available, in my opinion, because you can actually erase a stupid comment. Sometimes you're in a certain mood, you just comment something, and then you recognize, shit, that's just weird.
Right.
Or you just post an embarrassing picture, that could be as well. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, I used to post a lot of stuff on social media that I would later delete. So now I think about it more. Think about, like, you know, I don't usually just post something in the moment. I usually kind of think about it beforehand, but I've definitely done that quite a few times. Thankfully, you can go back and release it or delete it. But the thing is, you know, people already saw it, so it's not like they're just going to forget that they saw it just because you deleted it.
I've never really thought about it, but is a social media post a little bit like the 5-second rule for food on the floor? You have like 5 seconds to pick it up.
I think you should definitely have that rule. You should stop for, like, before you post, just like give it like 30 seconds and think about it beforehand.
And then your internet disconnects and you're not capable of actually deleting something.
That's
weird.
fine. Sometimes it's for the best.
Why is it for the best? Our internet just disconnected.
Oh, our internet disconnected?
But we are back right now.
Oh, I thought you were talking about when you're posting on social media. Sometimes your internet just disconnects.
No, the live stream, because I have the laptop right next to me, just disconnected. But we are back on track. Maybe there's 10 seconds missing later on when it gets archived by YouTube. What were we talking about? Food on the floor and...
The 30-second social media rule, where you
30
just gotta wait like half a minute before you hit publish. You know, just think about it before you hit that button.
Or maybe there should be some sort of alarm on your mouse click, like if social media or the internet or the digital world technology ever gets so intelligent that it actually can read from the mouse what you are writing and then just doesn't let you click. Maybe that could be a very good.
That sounds like it could work out. Yeah.
I remember Scrubs. I'm really into Scrubs. Do you know that show?
Scrubs? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. I love that show. And they had one episode, I believe, with one guy who always standing in the background, an opera singer.
Right.
And whenever you did something stupid, he just went, mistake, for like 30 seconds, 45 seconds.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. What else do you want to talk about? Oh, we're having a good time here.
Oh, just hanging out in the hostel bar here, you know. Yeah. What else do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I have loads of stuff to talk about. I just came back from Macau.
Yeah.
So that was fun for one championship. A stacked fight card, man. And I was limited in my amount of memories. So I was very careful with the pictures I took. But I'm very happy with the outcome. Had a good time in Macau. Second time there, and it's an incredible city. It's a weird city. Have you been?
Yeah, one time just on a day trip from Hong Kong, and yeah, it was pretty fun. I liked all the Portuguese influenced architecture, and we had like Portuguese, I guess, Cantonese fusion type dish or meal there. It was pretty good, but yeah, I mean, it just reminded me a lot of Vegas, but not really.
It actually had made more money a few years or in 1 year than Las Vegas.
They what?
They made more money in 1 year than Las Vegas.
Oh, really?
I don't know if they still do it, but I know that they were right up there with Las Vegas. And it feels like it, man. I was flying out at night. You could see all those lights in the background. They have the fake Eiffel Tower. It was just, man, I wish I could have like a proper telelens from the plane. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I think it's like all of the people coming from China where it's illegal to gamble, and they all go to Macau and just like spend crazy amounts of money, right?
Yeah.
Like I see, like you hear that like some people think of it as like an investment to gamble in China. Like they think it's like investing in their future.
Yeah.
So they really they save up a bunch of money and they go to Macau and just like gamble crazy amounts of money. Like you'd never think to take that much to Vegas.
We heard some weird stories from last time, but I kind of don't want to talk about it because it feels a little bit like
illegal.
A place. No, not illegal. Man, Macau gambling is legal. However, it feels a little bit like Las Vegas, gaming, drama, gossip. So I don't know if that was real, but if it was real, man, that was a fucked up evening, I would say. Life is good right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you a little bit nervous?
No.
No? You seem very calm.
I just can't hear that much.
You want to come a little bit closer?
I could. Let's see if it...
I have to move the luggage. It's the right track in the background as well.
This is the live experience from the bar.
Yes, can you hear me a little bit better now?
Oh yeah.
I'm roughly 10 centimeters closer to you right now.
It works.
You want me to hold your hand too? I'm just joking. I'm having fun, man.
Yeah.
I was a little bit worried about what I should do with the podcast because I've been in Macau and because this week I had some other stuff to deal with, and then you have to organize guests. We have some good names coming up. Don't want to mention anything too early, but we have some good ones coming.
I'll give the secrets away right now.
Ice baby.
Yeah.
Boom, that was a hint there for you, ladies and gentlemen. Boys and girls.
I know what that means. I won't tell you though.
Hey, Foo Fighters is playing in Bangkok, by the way.
That's in a couple weeks, right?
Yes, in August actually.
24th, I think.
Is it this weekend?
No, I think it's next week.
Let me check
Phoenix
that out.
is playing on the 17th. I got tickets for that show.
How much did you pay for a ticket? Derrick?
Yeah.
He's distracted by one of his many reasons to be distracted. I have no idea why I said this. I'm looking up Foo Fighters right now.
I think it's the 24th.
That would be in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Thursday in 2 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm. How about that Suicide from Linkin Park?
Say that again?
How about that Suicide from Linkin Park?
Oh, yeah. That guy is from the same city I grew up in, so it's pretty crazy.
How much of a Linkin Park fan were you?
I never actually really got that into Linkin Park.
No?
No. I mean, I liked a few of their songs when they first came out, but I never really got that into them.
Mm-hmm.
Good bands. I don't know.
But I don't know, man. For me, it was a little bit different. I was totally into Linkin Park. Because there was a lot of power, and when we had our breakdance sessions, it was kind of, we needed that kind of motivation. So Linkin Park, man, played a big role in my festival times in Europe. That's what I prefer about Europe, because you have festivals closer and closer.
Right, and they're all like during the festival season, like in the summertime, you can just go from city to city. They're all different festivals very easily. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How about Phoenix? Is that a place for festivals?
It's starting to become one, not in the past, but I think it's starting to become one now. Yeah. There's
for people who are not capable of seeing this right now, Derrick was making kind of a question mark in my direction, and I think he has a little bit difficulty to understand what I'm saying because of the background music and the noise, and I just gave him the headphones, and instead of putting them on, he's just holding them cool like a DJ.
Yeah, it's working out for me. That way I can hear you better now, though.
I should take a picture of that right now because it's so funny.
All right.
Just a second.
Just 1 second. We got to do pictures here.
How long do you have open?
We're open till midnight.
Huh?
We're open from 8 a.m. till midnight right now.
That's a long day. Are you here all day? Or?
I'm not here all day usually. I'm here a few days a week, and I'll be here usually from like 9 or 10 in the morning till we close. But I work on my other business from here as well. So
you're a busy man. Plus, you want to start a podcast as well.
Oh, yeah. I'm doing one right now.
Quick one. I like that. That was, you know, when you have a conversation sometimes and people just shoot back shit at you?
Yes, it's my favorite thing to do.
And you just don't know what to say? We are having a good time here at the DreamCatcher Bangkok.
Oh, wow. I can hear so good now. This is, yeah. Mm. All right. We should both have headphones.
It puts you more in a certain style, a certain vibe.
Right.
When you have the headphones on. However, you have a lot of stuff going on. So you have your English teaching or had, you have your hostel, you're planning the podcast. What has priority for you right now?
That's a good question. I think I'm just trying to figure out a way to do everything all at once. Just try to give some time to everything. And it's really just about focusing on blocks of time, I think. Just, on my calendar, I set aside a certain time for each thing where I'm really just focused on that alone. I think it's the only way to do it all at once.
How's your exercise doing? I've seen that you have been more active in the gym.
Yeah, I messed my back up, so I was not really doing anything for a few months while I was healing that, so getting back into it. It sucks coming off injuries, though, because, can't really do what you were doing before. So, right now, just a lot of yoga and usually a little heavy bag, boxing,
you started boxing?
Kettlebells. I haven't been boxing, in class, but I have a heavy bag at my house, so... I just go crazy on that for 30 minutes every day.
I see a picture in front of me like a cat that's just punching something really quick. Have you always been, I know you're into UFC and mixed martial arts. Is that something that has always been interested in, that you have always been interested in, or just because there's Muay Thai in Thailand and one thing leads to the other?
Yeah, I did martial arts when I was younger, like karate and taekwondo a little bit when I was a kid. But then I wasn't into it for a long time. But then through the watching UFC later, I got back into it.
Are you much into One Championship?
Yeah.
Awesome. There's a Kuala Lumpur card coming up, by the way. I just do a little plug here on August 18th in Kuala Lumpur. Great stadium, kind of old, but it has something that it's just very attractive for photos. However, main event, Gafurov, who won 7 fights, I believe, or 7 fights in One Championship, and 6 of them by rear naked choke.
Wow.
He's on a run.
Yeah.
Martin Negin, on the other hand, has been on a run as well, and the only fight he lost, a year ago, 2 years ago, was against Gafurov. A fight on short notice, and now he actually has the chance for a rematch. So make sure to watch that.
Yeah, the first ONE FC I ever saw, I went to see it in KL maybe 3 years ago. So I went in KL, and then I went in Singapore as well, and then both of the ones in Bangkok so far. So, I started going to ONE FC because I was really into UFC and MMA in general, and then I found out about it and was excited that there was something going on in Asia.
And have you tried Muay Thai once?
I've trained Muay Thai, yeah. I've never fought, an amateur match or anything, but...
They're guests coming in. They're standing outside, afraid of coming in. Welcome.
Yeah.
I always used to say that in the hostel in Vientiane when somebody opened the gate. Welcome! You just scream that out. Do you have a special opening, or just say welcome?
I think I should start doing yours because I like that a lot.
Welcome.
Maybe I'll just do it a little bit different, but I think I'm just going to steal it straight up.
Maybe you should have confetti guns somewhere, and whenever there's a guest coming in, you just shoot all the confetti in the air.
That's a really good idea. Do you know where
I could
get a confetti?
Have a disco ball on the roof as well.
That would fit in here really well, actually. We could just turn all the lights off and leave these neon lights on and the disco ball.
I think that is something you should do. You look a little bit disappointed. Do you want more as an opening? Do you want elephants, tigers, midgets, or...
Midgets on a tiger riding elephant? That could work.
Man, I'm just talking. I'm having fun.
That's what the podcast at the bar is for.
Yeah. How long have you been listening to podcasts? Got into it 2 years ago. Joe Rogan, and then I listened to a bunch of other ones.
Yeah.
And I just got stuck, man. I don't listen to that much music anymore, actually.
Yeah, it's been a while. I would say, especially Joe Rogan was pretty instrumental in a lot of the changes in thoughts or beliefs that I had, and a lot of the stuff that I got into. I got into training jiu-jitsu and a lot of different things through that podcast and listening to his guests and stuff. So that was the first one that I really got into as well. Maybe 4 years, I don't know, something like that. 4 or 5 years now.
You know what would really fit in here? If you had a float room. That's a perfect vibe for it.
I should get a float room up here. Those things are expensive to run though. You know how much sea salt or like Epsom salt you have to buy?
Yeah, a good float tank is around 30,000 US.
Yeah.
But that's like a really good one. That's a dream pod. Looks really spacey, has different colors inside.
Right.
You can connect it to your computer and you can just play music and intros, outros. It's really dope, man.
Can we record a podcast in there?
Huh?
Could you record a podcast in there?
Why would you want to record a podcast
It's
in
just
a float tank?
It's just a question. Maybe we could try it out. It might be the first time it's ever been done.
No, I don't think the question is stupid. I just wonder why should somebody be willing to record a podcast in a float tank?
Because, if you can do it, you might as well try.
You know what I see in front of me right now? It's like two float tanks, and there's two people inside. One tries to relax, and the other one is just doing crazy shit, recording a podcast and
screaming.
playing drum. And you have like a still overview shot from the outside. Sorry.
Right. That's why you got to keep the float tanks in two separate rooms,
Yeah.
so people can do their own thing.
There are actually float tanks for two people.
Really?
Yeah, that's the same thing.
No, I don't think so.
I want to be alone in the float tank.
Yeah. There's.
Well, it depends on who's in there with me, but
Does it though? I mean.
well. Oh boy, my head is going wild.
Yeah.
I just watched a bunch of really stupid movies lately, and I've been so angry about them that I make internal jokes with myself in reference to those movies.
Which ones?
Oh, don't get me started. Alien, for example.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
a lot of
really
people.
Stupid one.
A lot of people talk good about it, but I finally made it. I gave it like 4 attempts because the first 3 I fell asleep, and then the 4th one I survived yesterday. And I was like, damn, maybe I think about too much about these movies, but I was just, this is so stupid. I mean, graphics, cool,
Right.
awesome. Screenplay, like it. Like, but the story and the acting sometimes is just wow. I don't know, man. That's what I liked about, what's his face? Deadpool.
Right.
Deadpool just took the shit out of everything.
Yeah. There's the second one coming out, I think, pretty soon here. Maybe
Next year, I think.
Is it next year?
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely gonna watch that.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't think Alien was always about the plot being the strong point. It was pretty much
No, it's
just the
not.
alien looking cool and
No, but the old movies, especially with the alien itself, with the character or with the monster, and the old movies, it kind of creeped into the movie. You were watching it and you heard it sometimes, and then
Right.
you saw a finger. It built it up more. Now with the new one, it just shows up. You know,
Right.
after like 20-25 minutes, you have the little fucking babies, and it just, from there you see them like every 5 minutes. It takes the excitement away.
Okay, that I haven't seen it yet because that doesn't sound that great. Because like you're saying, the cool thing was always that it was just like you heard it a lot, and it just kind of like you knew that the alien was creeping around, but you never really were just like they never gave you a full shot of the alien. It was always kind of the old school style horror.
You
where
have to watch that movie, man. I
Yeah.
could start. I'm so angry inside right now because there's stuff I want to say about it, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody who's listening or yourself. So it makes me really aggressive. Alien.
Right.
Is there like a movie that you just can't see where you say, whenever there's somebody, hey, let's go watch a movie, or let's watch a movie at home, this movie, and you just go, no, sorry, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I'm trying to think about that. I mean, nothing that comes immediately to mind, which means probably not. But I mean, there's got to be one.
There got to be one. Come on,
Yeah.
think a little bit. Here's an example, Titanic.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely prefer not to watch that movie ever again.
Me and Polly is another one.
Yeah, especially because of the soundtrack of Titanic. If I could never hear Celine Dion again, that would be great. But yeah, that's a good one actually. I'll go with that.
Yeah. If I could.
Thanks for bailing me out there.
No problem. We are in a relaxed mode. I think you're a little bit more relaxed than me because you have your ears everywhere. You have to be everywhere as a boss.
Yeah, thankfully I got the headphones on now, so I can actually hear you. So we're good.
I'm actually making you that boss character without actually being that boss character. You're a
Right.
kind person.
Yeah, most of the time. I guess I can go into boss mode if you want me to. I could try.
What gets you off the grid? Because you said often or mostly I'm a good person. What takes you really, really out of your out of your skin?
Titanic. Celine Dion.
Celine Dion.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. That would be my number one choice.
Mm.
Other than that, I mean, just people being annoying sometimes. You try to get better at like dealing with people's bullshit, but every now and then you just kind of like get affected.
Yeah, you can't really escape it, especially with social media.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go into that again.
Fake
I want to
news.
go into silly...
Hashtag fake news.
Hashtag fake news. I want to go more into listening to silly music.
Okay.
I had JR on from the Lions Head Boxing Gym and Athlete Development a few episodes ago. And we were talking about that people always try to act cool when they're listening to music.
Right.
But everybody has those moments where they listen to the craziest or weirdest stuff that you would never imagine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. What's your favorite crazy song to listen to?
My favorite crazy song.
Yeah, or like
Celine Dion.
All right, I think this podcast is over.
Huh?
This podcast is over.
Because of Celine Dion. You want me to play some Celine Dion?
No, please no.
Huh?
No. I think we could do without Celine Dion maybe tonight.
What are you playing in general? Like funk, soul?
Yeah.
Not right now. I mean in general. What do you prefer to play at a hostel?
Yeah, it's just like a lot of different kind of stuff depending on the time of the day and like the mood. But yeah, I usually like to keep like funk, soul, like jazzy, instrumental shit, like hip hop beats stuff. Just like stuff you could like hang out to, work to, or just like relax.
That's dope, man. I always wanted a record collection, but I never had the base, because I always move a lot, I always travel a lot.
Right.
So how do you organize your records? Because I have some DJ friends, and they are a little bit, not a little bit, very obviously correct with their order, with their covers, with everything.
Gotta be. Yeah.
How many records are we talking here with you?
Right now I have probably like 250 or so. Not a whole lot right now. I used to have a lot more back in America, but I sold most of them when I left and came here. So just kind of building it back up. Actually, my organization is terrible though. They need to be much better organized. I'm always like looking for shit that I can't, that I want to listen to, but somewhere in my collection.
I always envied people who had a EP player at home, because it puts a different vibe to actually listening to music.
Right.
It's not just like YouTube surfing where you can come up with whatever you want, and then you don't have the sound quality with a good studio setup, or not necessarily studio but sound setup. It's just so much different, man.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely different quality of sound for sure. But the thing I also like you were saying, is you kind of have to be more, I guess, intentional about what you're listening to. Like you collect your records, and I like to just have all my records. And if I'm on my computer and looking through MP3s or on YouTube or whatever, I may never think to listen to something that I have in my record collection. Yeah. But just kind of like flipping through the vinyl, I'll find a record that I really like, but I haven't listened to for a while, and just like pull it out. So kind of different experience.
How crazy do you get when you actually get records? Are you somebody who is like just really into one record, and whenever you find that record, you're willing to pay whatever price tag it has, or are you like, fuck?
Sometimes. Depends on the record, but usually, I mean, I try to get records that I know are going to be limited. I try to buy them when they come out and like get an extra copy and sell them down the line. I do like collecting them, but I'm not too crazy about it. There's some records where they're a lot of money. I'm like, I just don't really need it.
Yeah, it's kind of an addiction. Once you start, you can't really stop. You always find a different one. I've noticed here in Bangkok, on lots of the markets, you find old records. Have you found something valuable here in Bangkok? Or is it a place where you can actually dig good records, or?
Mostly just like Thai records, I would say, for the most part. Everything else is pretty overpriced here. Yeah. So it's hard to find anything that's not like an old Thai record if you're looking.
Yeah, there's some good Thai funk out there though.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. If you go around like Chinatown area, there's a whole street of just like old record stores. And I go in there and look for Thai records sometimes too. But the thing that's hard is like with the Thai records, a lot of the covers look way different than the music sounds. So you look at these covers and they look like, I don't know, like nursery stories or something, like kids records, but then it's like a really good funk record from the 70s. And if you can't read Thai or like don't know the artist that you're looking for, it's difficult to find stuff.
That's how I would choose my records. I would go by covers.
Yeah,
because I'm so visual.
Yeah, I mean having a great cover is the key for when you're digging for records. I mean, if you're looking at through old records, it's pretty much all you got to go off of. You listen to it, hear a song or so.
Yeah, I think it can be good and bad in both directions, because it can be good because you can buy a record that you really like and you would never imagined because of the name or just of the music style, however. But it can also go the other way, that you just buy records because of the good cover and it's like, fuck.
That's definitely happened to me more than once before.
Have you ever considered to be a DJ? Because that is quite an advantage in a hostel, actually.
I was before. I haven't done it for a while. So I would like to start doing it again, actually.
Like proper DJ turntables or one of those disc DJ spots?
Yeah, proper turntables.
Yeah, Derrick is just saying goodbye at the moment. No worries. Say goodbye, hug each other, have a good time. What are you drinking right now? Because you switched your drink.
My beer is gone, so I'm going to have to
He's actually having a water in front of him, but so do I. It's okay. This is what I was talking about earlier before. You have to be honest with yourself what kind of shitty music you listen to sometimes.
Yeah, but you didn't answer your favorite shitty music, though.
Oh, that's true. That's a good question. Well, I said no. That's not true. I answered. I said Celine Dion.
But
you said the podcast
serious?
is over, but it was not. No, man. This morning when I went to the park, I had some weird pop gym motivation music on.
Nice.
Something that I would never listen to, but something was there that kept me going listening to it.
Right. I mean, sometimes you just got to get ready for the gym with some cheesy pop motivation music.
What's your gym music?
Trying to think. Probably just like the Jock Jams music, like the 90s. You remember Jock Jams compilations?
Yeah, I'm really bad at names, but
it was just like all the music they would play at like cheerleading competitions and stuff. Just like cheesy. Like
sometimes you go really crazy though. In Flames, Metallica.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. You know that Metallica has their own EP production?
Oh yeah.
They have a press.
Where at?
I think in Denmark.
Okay.
I'm not. I could be totally talking out of my ass, but I know.
So they just press their own vinyl, and they only do their own, or they do it for other labels?
No, they do it for themselves. I don't know if they actually produce, if they're like Dr. Dre of metal or rock, hard rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. I think they are.
Yeah, and the lead singer, you know his name?
Hetfield, right? James Hetfield, yeah.
Yeah, he actually likes to grow bees.
Yeah, I heard about that actually.
Yeah, he had a whole podcast about that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That's like his thing. He never listens to cheesy music, but he likes to grow bees.
I think that's good though, because the bees, they're dying and they're a necessity. They pollinate things, and we need them around. So
I've been watching too much killer bees documentaries.
Is that something you watch regularly?
I drop into it from while to while. Not really into conspiracy videos, but those documentaries from, I don't know, late 90s, beginning of 2000, National Geographic, and they spread 60-second style.
Right, and then they show like the close-up view of the bees at war with each other, like flying full speed ahead, right at each other.
There's so much crazy stuff out there. It's once again, it brings us back to social media and Celine Dion. That's probably why people get so excited for Titanic, because they knew Celine Dion was going to do the soundtrack in advance. By the way, the government of Canada made a plan to put loads of Celine Dion songs out there, and then when the people are hyped, when they're completely into Celine Dion, then we're going to release Titanic and everybody's going to watch that movie.
Is that real?
No.
Oh, it's not? I thought that would be real.
I'm just trying to be serious about it.
I think, I mean, it sounded real to me because that's like what the Canadian government does. They have like the artist program, and they like have their musicians, and they just like the government supports them. So that sounded realistic to me. I mean, could have happened.
That's true. Again, it brings us back to social media. You can make up all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, well, we should check Celine Dion's Facebook. It might have some more information about that.
You think there's a Celine Dion conspiracy theory out there?
There's got to be at least one.
Minimum one.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I had so many movies I wanted to talk about, but now I don't want to spoil it. You haven't seen Alien yet?
What were the other movies?
Well, I watched Man on Fire again, by the way.
Man on Wire or Man on Fire?
Man on Fire.
Okay, those are two totally different movies, apparently.
Denzel Washington.
Man on
In
Fire.
Mexico, he plays the bodyguard, and one of the kids he is guarding get kidnapped, and he just becomes that
Yeah, I forgot about that
superhero
one.
cop, get chased by Mexican government and police. Derrick is pointing, trying to communicate with his staff without words.
Yeah, it's good. It works out really easily.
Is it the correct one?
Yes.
Boom. There we go. There is food going around. There is laughters going around. Small laughters. The bar gets quite empty. Talking about emptiness, transition. Like, do you always look forward to run a hostel, or do you just... you can just say that somebody's asking me something. I totally don't. I would like a drink, yes. Of course, only water, because we are podcasting.
Yeah, we don't drink beer.
So we don't drink any water. And then I just pointed at some other water there. I'm being magical, confusing people.
Thank you. We're podcasting in the bar.
It's funny, you know what's really tricky with podcasting? And this is why I was so nervous before at the beginning of this episode, because we're doing it on a location with other people around, and I wanted to have it as natural as possible, but yet you're so focused on it that you constantly have to talk. And once you come into a flow of a conversation, I'm just full of questions today, but once you come into the flow, I could keep going forever, while Derrick is lost in thoughts a little bit.
No, I'm with you. I just look lost in thought.
No worries. Lost in thoughts, relaxing. Are you looking forward to your hostel work, or are you actually happy when you come home and you can just relax and you can do whatever you want, playing PlayStation?
I haven't touched my PlayStation, honestly, for like...
Is the PlayStation a metaphor here?
No. This is my actual PlayStation 4. Or my Vive, for that matter. No VR games for quite a while. Yeah, it's just been crazy busy trying to run multiple businesses at the same time and, just keep up with everything, so... But, I mean, it's been fun. It's all fun. It's all good times. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I used to work regular jobs and work for other people and go to an office every day, and I'll take working, 14-hour days, 16-hour days, whatever, for myself all the time over, ever going back to working an 8-hour
How old
office
are you now?
job. 31 now. Yeah.
31. Are you turning 32 this year?
March.
Next year. Okay. That means I'm older than you.
Yeah?
Yes. It's my birthday in Siggy September.
All right, coming up.
Mm-hmm. But I never celebrate my birthday.
Never?
No, not really. I always do what I want. I go to the beach, or I just sit at home.
So you celebrate it how you want.
Not really. It's not really, today I'm going to do what I want. It's more like, I don't really care.
Just another day.
It's just like Christmas. I had a Christmas 2011 or 2012 in Berlin where I just didn't give a shit. My parents are living in Sweden, and I was just like, no, I'm going to order pizza and I'm going to play PlayStation.
That sounds great, actually.
Yeah,
I like that.
That was amazing. That's also something that annoys me, by the way, that in Europe you have Christmas decorations and Christmas cookies coming up in September, October.
Yeah.
It feels like Christmas is forever.
Yeah, it's the same in America now. I feel like... So they start doing Halloween stuff in I don't even know, July maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as actually even before Halloween stuff is even over, they already have the Christmas stuff in there.
When is Halloween again? November, right?
The end of October, yeah. The 31st.
When is it creepy to dress up for Halloween and go trick-or-treating? What age?
Trick-or-treating?
Yeah, when are you too old?
If you don't have kids, I mean, it's pretty creepy after 15.
After 15.
Or maybe even earlier. I mean, to go trick-or-treating. But the costumes part is great. You just got to go to an adult get-together with your costumes, not actually going door-to-door trick-or-treating.
What if you're just some old, weird dude or woman that just likes dressing up?
I don't think you have to wait for Halloween. Then you can just do that every day of the year.
That will be really weird, people. That's what I like about Fasching. It's called in Germany. It's like Halloween, but it's more like a carnival kind of style.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So in Berlin, when you are out and when you're having a couple of drinks with your friends or whatever you do, and you come back in the evening or early in the morning,
Right.
you can just be in the subway. And this happened to me several times, man. I had a Smurf next to me. I had Rambo next to me. The BTS is just completely empty, and then there's you, and the door opens, and there's just a Smurf walking in, man. That's
great.
hilarious. That must be amazing in New York.
Yeah, I've never been to Halloween in New York, but I'm sure it'd be very entertaining. We were in Halloween. We were in Osaka for Halloween last year, and it was pretty entertaining. Just like crazy Japanese like manga costumes, just like girls wearing crazy shit. It was fun.
That must be amazing photos, because Japan is a country of color.
Yeah, very colorful.
That must be amazing. The cherry tree festival that you have each spring, I believe it is.
Yeah, we actually went this year, and it's crazy because it only lasts for like the blossoms only last for like a week at the most.
Only.
And they never really know when, so like you kind of have to plan for this whole month for your trip if you actually want to see it, because there's not like an exact date when they start blooming.
So do people stand in lines like for a new iPhone, or is it just when it happens, it happens?
I mean, people were definitely just waiting. Like, there's huge crowds at all the different areas where the cherry blossoms are. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty popular. People travel from all over Japan and then all over the world for that time of the year.
Yeah, I remember Tokyo. I've been there twice, but I want to go to other places too.
Yeah, I would highly
I was in
recommend
Osaka, but that doesn't really count because it was really short. You know, when you just go to places for, I don't know, a change or for one day, it doesn't really count. I always want to explore the city.
Right. Yeah, I never say like I've been somewhere if I was just like in the airport or there for like, yeah, just like a layover.
By the way, I wanted to ask you, what kind of, because I always like how people are. You know, you can see their character in music or in choices they make. If somebody comes to your hostel and asks you, what should I explore in Bangkok? What would you recommend? I mean, there's so much food going on, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, I always try to ask what kind of things they typically like to do first, because there's just so much you could do. And I mean, I know a ton of stuff that I like to do, but I try not to just make my recommendation based off what I like, because, you know, everybody's into different stuff. So yeah, I always ask first what they normally like to do, and then if it's like, oh, you know, like they like nightlife or music or whatever, I'll make recommendation. And you know, cultural stuff, there's other places to go. There's just tons of different stuff to do in the city. So
yeah, Bangkok is massive, man. There's so much going on every day. I look on Facebook, it seems like to me there's only food going on, but don't let yourself get distracted by
that's just what people like to look at when they're sitting at
by
home.
double F's.
Yeah.
Fake food news, so FFN.
Fake food?
Yeah. I get quite tired of that,
That's China,
actually.
right? Like, there's tons of fake food in China, like the plastic rice and the baby formula. That was crazy.
What?
Did you hear about that?
What?
It was like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. There was a huge controversy. Sorry. Yes, company was making like fake formula,
That's weird.
like baby formula. So they were, you know, infants were drinking this fake milk.
When did you hear that?
Happened like 2 years ago. But
So
wait
a second, because
the fake rice as well. That was a big story. There was They were making plastic rice and selling it.
That's so stupid. Like, people, of course, recognize.
Oh, well, they did, but it was too late for, you know, until all the bags were out there. So actually, the crazy thing is now America is like a huge exporter of rice to China. I just heard this recently.
That's
like,
insane.
China is buying tons of rice from America because they want to be certain that they're getting real rice.
I have to Google that, why you say that.
Alabama,
that
I
is
think.
something that, again, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it makes no sense at all. I was like, how
You
are you
just
going to
photobombed the photo real quick there.
How are you going to import rice like from America to China? It just makes no sense.
Americans are even not even rice eaters. You know what I mean? They don't. Every country or continent has their food. Like, Europe is mostly potato, Asia is rice.
Yeah, compared to bread.
Selfie.
Compared to like bread, as far as grains go, like rice is nowhere near that level. But we definitely eat it.
I would definitely eat it. You always get hungry when you do a podcast. Thirsty and hungry. I don't know why that is.
Are you going to eat something right now?
I'm going to eat after the podcast, I believe, because you have a menu as well.
We do have a menu.
Free breakfast, plug.
We do have free breakfast. It's really good.
Oh, I'm getting handed a menu right here. You got, of course, the all-time classic rice noodles in tomato soup.
They're sold out.
The rice or the tomatoes?
Everything. No, the rice is still here. The tomato noodle is gone.
Green curry. Ooh, green curry is one of those dishes that you always need to watch out for. Who does it? But if you nail it, you nail it.
Oh, we nailed it. Don't worry about that. You should just try it out.
Yeah? That's the problem when you have a kitchen in your own hostel. You get comfortable and you just eat the same food all day long. Because you fucking like it, you get into it. When you have access to something that you really like, you just get obsessed with it. I have that with food sometimes. Green curry is one of those.
Yeah, definitely.
What else do we have? Oh, your bestseller. What's your bestseller?
Probably the cow soy is like my favorite, and it sells a lot. So, cow soy is really good. Green curry is also popular. Penang. And then we sell a lot of like the American style breakfast in the morning. From 8 until 3 we do breakfast. So
nice. Yeah, man. Food is something that I really started to appreciate in a more positive way. Of course, if you appreciate something, it's always positive, I guess.
Yeah.
But my dad is a chef. I mentioned that a few times, and I got spoiled with food. You know, I never had really to cook, or there was always good food on the table. Mm-hmm. So when you move out, when you're younger, you just survive on fucking ramen noodles or
you weren't
toast.
Even aware of how good you had it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, everybody doesn't eat like this?
And I'm kind of a late bloomer, man. I just, a year ago, really got into food, like what's really protein, calories. I didn't pay attention anything at all, man.
Just like, oh, this tastes good, I'll eat it.
Yeah, I just keep on eating it and I don't give a shit what's inside. I have that with certain other things like Coca-Cola, man. It's just full of shit, but it's just...
And then they have the Coca-Cola Zero and you're thinking, well, like, the only way this is possible is like there's something really, really fucked up in this, right?
In cola?
The Coke Zero.
I'm not a big fan of Coke Zero. I don't know why.
We're just doing a podcast. Yeah.
We have confused people walking around. No, we are not done. Who are you, by the way? Or who are you guys? De är svenska, vet du. Jag kan prata svenska nu. I'm actually German, but I grew up in Sweden, in Eksjö, close to Jönköping. So yeah. When did you... We can inte. That's a mix between English and Swedish. We cannot speak Swedish here because our audience is mostly from Asia. We need to keep it English. When did you arrive? Yes. Today. So fresh Bangkok people. We were just talking about what we would recommend to people in Bangkok. What kind of city person are you? I'm transitioning the conversation a little bit to give Derrick a break in case he needs to go to the toilet. And talking to the Swedish person real quick. What would you like to explore? What are you expecting to explore? Food? Riverside?
People, just seeing like the different layers of Bangkok.
Oh, there's many layers going on. I can tell you that. Well, I wish you good luck in exploring Bangkok. You are in... Where are we, by the way? We are at the DreamCatcher Bangkok Hostel, Café and Bar. What a transition.
There you go.
Sorry for the short interruption here. I'm on a run tonight. Where can we find you on social media, by the way? How do people find you?
Just DreamCatcher Bangkok. Just search that on Facebook, and then you'll find us. DreamCatcherBangkok.com.
But MRT stations is very close, obviously.
So as far as location-wise, we're at Siloam Soi 3, so just either Cheongnangsy or Saladang, either BTS station, less than 5 minutes walking, and the Siloam MRT, like just a couple minutes walking.
Yeah. On my way here, actually, I got quite surprised because they start to ban street food in Bangkok more and more.
Yeah.
And here is still a place around your neighborhood where there's a lot of markets going on right at the street, and I realized, damn it, I understand why they're cleaning up a little bit.
Yeah.
because it's just too much.
It's the thing is, like, I agree, like, the street food is good and stuff, but like you're saying, it's just kind of like it got out of control in some places, like, especially with they try to like have bike lanes and like people want to ride bikes, but then as soon as they have a bike lane anywhere, people just put all their shit in the middle of the bike lane. Like, they park their cars and then they put the street food, and it's like, well, no one can walk on the street and no one can ride bikes. Like, no one else is using the public area, so and I feel like, I mean, a lot of them are clearly, they're not like licensed to be there, or they didn't ask anyone to be there. So, you know, you got to share that space for everyone. There's got to be room to walk.
But I see a lot of people, because Bangkok is one of those spots where people come for street food, and a lot of people get upset with it. But I don't really see a reason, because you need to realize that you need to clean up somewhere, and clean up is such a hard word because they can still move. They open up in different areas. It just gets pushed a little bit outside of the city, which
right, or a
is
little more organized.
Because
like, same with like Chinatown. Chinatown is like one of the best street food areas, and really, it was pretty dangerous and like always sketchy walking around there, because like the people and the street food would be so close to the cars driving down the street. So now they have like these giant traffic cones that, like, if you hit them with your car, you're gonna fuck your car up. So they have these giant traffic cones and like walkways now. So the street food's still there. They just made it more like, you know, safe and kind of organized than it was before. But it's not
just about safety, because you have a lot of trash after those
definitely.
after those street food nights as well.
Everywhere in Bangkok.
And it's part of the problem. It's bigger than the box. You need to think outside the box.
Right.
That's always positive to do, and a good step forward to do in general.
Yeah. But you definitely need to keep the street food too, because it's just so damn tasty. But yeah, we got a lot of street food around here.
Yeah, I'm a big pad thai fan, by the way, in case anybody cares. I don't think anybody cares, but
we'll add it on the menu for you. We don't have
just
it
to put it out there. You don't have pad thai in your menu?
No.
Oh, people out there, please do not visit. No, I'm just kidding.
Sponsorship has ended.
It's
today.
over right here.
It was fun while it lasted.
Exactly. And unfortunately, as everything, except for the sausage, that one has two ends. That's a German saying that doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, what the fuck does that mean?
That means that everything has an end, and so does the podcast.
Oh,
because
the sausage has two ends. Okay.
Yeah.
I got that.
There's loads of German sayings out there, like the dog gets crazy in the pan. Which means
it sounds much better in German, is what you're saying.
Da wird doch der Hund in der Pfanne verrückt.
Okay.
It means like that's crazy. That's crazy. Or you don't have all cups in your kitchen board. That means you're not really sane. You're insane. And this podcast has been quite insane, actually, full of weird transitions. It's not easy to hold a podcast.
Yeah, especially like in a bar, I think, like people walking around and talking, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's, for me, I feel like when you're in a bar, you can pick up on everything. You can pick up on drinks, you can pick up on other guests.
Right.
It has so many possibilities. At the same time as you have all those possibilities, it kind of locks you up. It's like, oh shit, what do I take next? What do I do next? Which brings me to relaxing. Right. And that's basically what I want to do. I want to relax. I want to have another water. And
Milk.
I just want to chill out Friday evening, August 11th, by the way.
Right.
Just so the people know what day we recorded this episode once again.
Just so we remember.
Yeah, if anybody cares. It has been a good time. I'm looking forward to my next liquid. What can we expect next from DreamCatcher Bangkok? Are you going to come out with some new flyers, stickers? I know you guys have t-shirts.
We got t-shirts. We got some glasses, beer glasses that we made. We're going to be doing an...
I thought proper glasses.
We could do proper glasses. We'll get you a custom pair set up. But yeah, we're going to do like a little grand opening party pretty soon. And yeah, just more events. And welcoming more people. Low season's almost over, and yeah, it's going to be crowded here the next few months.
Yeah, Facebook. And do you have Instagram as well, or?
We are setting that up, but it's all my fault. I've been slow at that, so almost.
He's going to set that up. He's going to set that up.
It's going to get set up right now. It's
going to be set up. I'm going to put that in the description below in the of the video. So you just scroll down,
Right.
you see description, then you can read, and you will find all the links. And once you're down there, you can actually hit like too. That's what she said. And with that being said, we're gonna end this podcast, a wild one. With me, Steve-O, I've been your host. Derrick Yazwa has been sort of my co-host today.
Sort of?
Sort of. You went a little bit quiet at some point.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But
All
it's
right.
just because you're so into it.
That's true.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
if you are
I'll be
into
back.
it, my dear audience, please download all our episodes for free on iTunes, Podbean, YouTube live stream. It will also be archived here. You can find it there as well. All you have to do is to look for Surrounded by Details podcast or on social media. One of those late bloomers that realized, hey, you should have the same name on all of your social media platforms. So it is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all the same. Steve.Bonhage, steve.bonhage.com, and DreamCatcher on Facebook. It's everywhere.
Everywhere.
And yeah, I guess we're out.
All right. Later.
No, see you later.
See you later.
No, see you later. Have a good one, people. We are going to be back, by the way, next week from Kuala Lumpur with another One Championship event, and we're going to have some interesting guests coming on. Talking about guests, Brian Bartosz as well in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Also here from the Dreamcatcher.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
There's so
I
much
guess I'll
stuff
be
going
here.
on. I just need to stop recording, otherwise I keep on going for the eternity of time. I'm going to listen to some Celine Dion. I'm out.